Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining the Bella Biz Unplugged. It's your girl Bella, and I'm back. It's such a wonderful pleasure to be back. I know all of my 4,000 plus followers have missed me as I have missed you. But sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, we have to take a break. It's called self care, right? But thank you all for joining us this evening. Boy, we do have some information to get going. So let's get started. I am going to introduce our main moderator for the night. I'm just a sideline this evening, but I want to thank everybody for being here and thank God that I'm alive. What can I say about this woman when there's nothing to say? Vice Chair Natalie Hall. She is absolutely awesome. And for you all that have been following me for the last 9 months, you all have been seeing Vice Chair Hall, right? Quite frequently. Well, you've guessed it. She's going to be a regular on our host. I think this is probably the third or fourth time she will share that with you. But I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to say a little bit about Vice Chair, but good God, I could say a lot. Natalie Hall is the Fulton County Commissioner of District 4. That encompasses the heart of Atlanta, downtown, Midtown, Old Fourth Ward, Grady High School, Atlantic Station, Bellwood Quarry, the legacy neighborhoods of the northwest area of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium to Fulton Industrial Boulevard at the Charlie Brown Airport, and southwest of I-Interstate 20 to the Andrew and Walter Young YMCA of Camilton Road. It's the unique attribute of the district that encompasses the entirety of Atlanta. It's been an honor for her to serve Fulton County, but I'm going to get out the way because you guys, we have a lot to unpack. We started at 6:15 to make sure everything was just so. So without further ado, audience, I'm going to bring in my Vice Chair, Commissioner Natalie Hall. Hey, Natalie, how you doing this evening? We need you to take yourself off of mute, Commissioner.
Thank you. I'm sorry for that. I'm going to call you Beautiful Bella today. And you know I'm loving your red glasses.
Thank you. I got jealous. I got them because you had them.
Well, they are beautiful. And I'm so glad to be here again with you because we have some outstanding people with us today that I will introduce to our listening audience. And I do want to just say that as the executive sponsor of Fulton County's strategic priority area called All People Are Healthy, it is important to me that everyone who is a resident of Fulton County is healthy. But I don't look at that just from one perspective. It's not just about your mental health or your physical health or your emotional health. It's about you having access to gainful employment that sustains you and your family, having access to fresh foods, access to a quality education, access to transportation, and access to everything you need as far as affordable housing and a beautiful neighborhood, parks and recreation, and so much more. So, today we're going to focus on health, on the real health of your body, your mind, and your soul. And we have a special guest, Michael Craig from Sick Kids Foundation, who has a service that I'm sure some of us have needed in the past or have known other people that were friends or families who needed his service. So, to start off the show, I'm going to introduce to you Dr. Felicia Bolden Mobley, Director of the Department of Community Health Services for the Fulton County Board of Health. In this role, she provides leadership for the Divisions of Health Promotion, Women, Infants, and Children's Program, which is WIC, and Maternal and Child Health. Additionally, she's responsible for promoting strategies and business practices that support the programmatic and clinical missions of the Community Health Services Division, as well as engage with community partners. During her 20-plus year career, Dr. Mobley has worked in a variety of healthcare settings, including academic medical centers, nonprofit health organizations, and higher education. Her administrative leadership roles have included program development, strategic planning, operations management, quality and leading multidisciplinary teams focused on the achievement of health equity. She has active participation in several community and professional organizations, including the East Point College Park Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Greater Metropolitan Atlanta Chapter of Jack and Jill of America Incorporated, American College of Healthcare Executives, and Georgia Association of Healthcare Executives. Dr. Mobley received a Bachelor of Science in Biology from Xavier University of Louisiana, a Master of Health Administration from Washington University School of Medicine, and a Doctor of Philosophy in Health Sciences for Northern Illinois University. Welcome to today's show, Dr. Mobley. It is an honor and a pleasure to have you on this show.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, and I'm so excited to be here today.
Thank you. And we will be coming back around to you to ask you some questions. But now I will introduce our second guest. Michael Wayne Craig is the founder of the Cedrics Kids Foundation, a position he assumed in August 2017. Wayne is the former founder and chief scientific officer of Cedrics Informatics, an Atlanta, Georgia, and Toronto, Canada-based consulting firm. Wayne leads the only foundation in the United States that focuses solely on helping all sick children, irrespective of illness, disease, or care. Cedrics Kids Foundation work positively impacts children's health by providing funds to bridge the gaps in healthcare through reactive and preventative initiatives. They provide funds for sick children when insurance and other financial resources have been exhausted or not available. Wayne is responsible for mission clarity, steering the organization's strategy in the right direction, and ensuring sufficient funds and resources are available to fulfill the organization's mission. He received his Bachelor of Science degree in Biomedical Informatics with honors from DeVry University, his MBA from the Georgia Institute of Technology, and his Doctor of Philosophy PhD degree in Biomedical Informatics from Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey. Wayne continues to practice as a scientific researcher at Emory University, Neurology Department, the University of Nebraska School of Medicine, Pediatric Neurology Department, and the Rutgers School of Health Profession. Wayne resides in Metro Atlanta with his wife and son. Welcome to the show, Mr. Craig.
Thank you. Thank you. That is such a wonderful introduction. I greatly appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be here, and I hope I can answer all questions, but most importantly, provide a path to how we can help families across our communities.
Absolutely. So let's start out with a question for Dr. Mobley. The Fulton County Board of Health, what is the Fulton County Board of Health?
So the Fulton County Board of Health is an entity that's here to provide health services for the citizens of Fulton County. It has a commitment to increasing the access to health services, also providing support for healthy communities, and just to recognize that we are the agency that's here to help promote healthy living in Fulton County.
Thank you for that answer. Thank you. And what types of services does the Fulton County Board of Health provide?
So the Fulton County Board of Health provides comprehensive services for the entire family, adults and children. We provide medical services. We provide, have a teen clinic for our young people. We do breast and cervical cancer screenings, HIV testing and planning, family planning. We also offer oral health services for pediatrics and adults. So we are an all-inclusive organization that provides medical services, both preventive as well as for treatment for our residents.
Yes, and I remember being in the community and visiting some of the Atlanta public schools because of the uniqueness of my district and the fact that it's entirely inside of the city of Atlanta. I have a significant number of Atlanta public schools from elementary, middle, and high
Mhm.
school. And I recall several of the parents and principals asking me, can the Board of Health help our children with immunizations? Because that is one of the most significant things that slows the child down from starting school. They need
Absolutely.
yes. And
Yes, so
so,
immunizations, as well as when we think about our young people and as they get ready to participate in sports, of course, with a global pandemic, our children had a different learning experience and extracurricular experience. But the Fulton County Board of Health is available for sports physicals as well as immunizations for our children because the global pandemic definitely put us in a place in a space where we had to take pause and to realize those things that are important to us and recenter us. But it also was very difficult, particularly for our children. So we're working really hard to do what we can to get back to a sense of normalcy for our children. So absolutely the ability to provide immunizations, vaccinations for our young people, as well as those other services like physicals, et cetera, that will allow them to get back in school and active. We are definitely available to provide those services.
yes, and I remember when I was chief of staff to the late Fulton County Commissioner Joan P. Garner, and they opened Oak Hill Adolescent, I think it's called Children and Adolescent Health Center, and just being in awe of the dental services that were available to the public. We were really, I mean, we were so in awe that we had adults who, once they found out about that service, they asked us, was there any way that they could connect former felons and people coming out of incarceration with access to the dental care services? Because one thing that we found was people felt inadequate when their teeth were not
Mhm.
healthy or were decayed or missing teeth. They didn't feel adequate enough to go for job interviews, and many
Mhm.
of those people were either homeless or coming out of incarceration. And it was so wonderful to know that our Board of Health provides the dental services that were free to them and available to them.
And absolutely. And one of the things that we have state of the art oral health services available at our clinic and at our centers. And as we continue to expand, we definitely take care of children and are expanding into the adult area as well. One of the things is, yes, we have a sliding fee scale, but we also accept commercial dental insurance. So it gives you an opportunity to recognize that we have quality dentists who are committed to the oral health of our citizens, because your oral health can also lead, if your oral health is not where it needs to be, it can lead to other conditions and illnesses. So we have dentists, hygienists that are available to provide quality oral health services for youth as well as adults, and we're continuing to expand those services.
So, Dr. Mobley, how does the community get in touch with this awesome service that you provide?
So yes, so currently we have six health centers across Fulton County, and I always like to say from the north to the south and all points in between, because we know that Fulton County is a long county. If you visit our website, you're able to find a location that's close to your area. Our health centers are accessible, and we try to make sure that they are also affordable. And if you have a question, you not only can you access through the website, you can also call the Board of Health. Again, as we continue to reopen and recenter from the global pandemic, all services are not available at all clinic locations. Typically, they are open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5 p.m. of course, closed on holidays and on the weekends, but you have the ability to schedule an appointment and through those appointments to be able to provide those services. So our goal is to be accessible, to be affordable, and to offer quality care for our clients.
That is super. I have another question for Vice Chair Move On, and this is very heartfelt. I have a lot of constituents and a lot of colleagues who are entrepreneurs, right? Small
Mhm.
business owners, starting out, maybe home-based businesses. And as you well know, as you mentioned COVID, we are struggling. And
Mhm.
so they are also available to come to the health board and get the services as well.
Yes, our services are available for the citizens of Fulton County. Our goal again is we want to have a healthy community. We recognize that there are some people who do not have access to insurance, so there are the opportunity for a sliding fee scale. But we also recognize that there are a lot of individuals who are participating in the Affordable Care Act insurance plans, as well as Medicaid and Medicare plans. So our goal is to allow ourselves to be accessible to as many citizens as possible and be able to provide those quality services for you. So we are
Great.
here and available.
So, Dr. Mobley, we have a question here, and it's something. The question is from Ashley Bullard. With the pandemic going on, are you doing mobile van visits or for dental services? Can you explain that and expound on that a little bit?
Yes, I can. We do have a mobile van unit. And out of transparency, as you can imagine, right now, our focus has really been on the COVID-19 response. As we transition to going back to being able to provide services using the mobile unit for other opportunities, that absolutely is an option. If there is a community that is interested, they can reach out to the Board of Health because we do recognize that we need to bring the services to the community. And so those are opportunities for us to engage our mobile van unit for not only dental services, but for health services as well.
Thank you.
And I just want to add to that. Coming on board as a newly elected commissioner in 2018, one of my big initiatives was to advocate for funding to enhance the departments by allowing them enough funding to buy mobile units, because my thing was we do not need to sit in our cushy offices in the air conditioning in the summertime and the heat in the wintertime waiting for our constituents and our residents to come to us. We need to go out into the communities that we serve that are in need do not even have the opportunity to get to us. They either don't have the transportation or the funding to actually make it to our offices. So I was big on the mobile units, and I advocated for and requested over $2 million to go to the Board of Health in 2019. And with the vote of my colleagues, it passed. And they were able to do a lot in the Board of Health, not only getting mobile units, but starting the hashtag Stop HIV ATL campaign and getting mobile units for testing, treatment, and education of HIV and AIDS, and so many other things that they needed. So
Absolutely. And we recognize that we're here to serve the community. And our mobile units have been out working very diligently, and our providers working very diligently, not only in the HIV work, but also in the COVID-19 work and chronic disease prevention work. We have our health promotions and we participate in community events. We'll be present, for an example, at the birthday bash that's going to be happening here in Atlanta, where we're going out to give health information for our youth, because we want our youth to be able to make good and wise decisions as it relates to their health. We partner with the faith-based communities. Many of our churches have been a ground zero for some, to some extent, of being able to offer vaccinations. And so we realize that the community is where we need to be, and we're committed to doing that work. And so as we continue to increase those numbers of individuals who are vaccinated so that we can protect ourselves and protect our neighbors, we're able to do more as it relates to those community engaged services in those preventive areas, because we know that we want our citizens to be healthy. We want our children to be healthy. We actually have a program for our adolescent and youth initiative to help them with healthy choices with students who are from 15 to 19 years old in two zip codes, 303 1A, I believe, in another zip code, because we recognize we have to meet the people where they are. And they say it's a team, together each achieves more. And so we look to our community partners, we look to our citizens to allow us to do what we can do to help make us all healthy and be able to get back into our sense of normalcy.
And speaking of youth and children, what services are available for babies and youth?
Yes, we have several services for our babies and our youth. We have our Babies Can't, and I'll just give you a couple of examples. We have our Babies Can't Wait program, which is an early intervention program for children who may have a developmental delay or disability. We have our Children's First program that links our children to services and screenings early, because we recognize the sooner we're able to recognize if there's an issue, that the sooner we can get them to services and increase their quality of life. We have a state of the art audiology services for our early hearing and detection program, where we have audiologists who are able to do our screenings for our babies and our infants. We also have our children medical services. So for our children who are have special medical needs, doing a lot of the care coordination to help parents get those children access to the services that they need. Of course, we also offer our nutrition education program through our WIC services. And again, for our adolescents and our youth, we have our adolescent health and youth development program. Again, just really getting our kids to understand that health disparities are real, but we can address them through education and through understanding the choices that we make have a direct impact on how we live, and being very transparent that more so than your DNA that can tell you what your life expectancy is, your zip code. So how do we encourage our young people to know what it is that they need to do to be able to live healthy lives? And then lastly, we have, and last but not least, our childhood unintentional injury program, which is an educational program to teach safety in sports safety, fire and burn safety, and home safety. Because again, our children are our future, and we want to make sure that they're making healthy decisions and that their parents have access to those services. We're really excited about our teen clinic because our teen clinic is very teen specific. I have a teenager, and so I know sometimes I'm trying to tell her things and she's like, oh my, you don't know. So to be able to have a clinic where teens can speak their truth in private with a provider to help them as it relates to sexual health, reproductive health, etc., it's also a great service that we provide for our residents.
That's great. Dr. Moe, I have another question for you. You are popular tonight. We're going to get to Michael next. Do you offer speech services or referrals for adolescents and toddlers that have a speech disability?
So through our children's medical services, if there's care coordination where you need a referral to a speech therapist, we are able to offer those services. Also, if they are an infant, through our Babies Can't Wait, if it is identified that they have a delay, then we're able to access to give you a referral for services. So we definitely have a commitment to our babies through our maternal and child health division to make sure that our children have access to the health services that they need.
That's wonderful. And I want those listeners and viewers who are out there who live in Fulton County District 4 to know that I created a flyer of services that are available in District 4. So I have every Board of Health center that's inside District 4 is on my flyer, and it lists all the services that are available at each location. Because as Dr. Mobley said, there are different services sometimes offered at different health centers.
Absolutely. And if they have any questions, they can call us directly at 404-613-1205. And that's an opportunity where we can direct them to the appropriate service and center location, and also our website at fultoncountyga.gov.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Mobley. And
Thank you.
again, if you can just again let people know how to find out more information about the Fulton County Board of Health.
Yes, absolutely. You can reach us by phone 404-613-1205 or via our website, www.fultoncountyga.gov. There you will find information regarding immunizations, our medical and nursing services that we provide, our teen clinic, also vaccinations, because again, we are still promoting vaccination, particularly of our youth 12 and over and older, and our adults, because we want to get back to a sense of normalcy and being able to see my family. I personally use the Board of Health to vaccinate myself as well as my teenage daughter. It gave me the opportunity to spend time with my mother again and their grandmother. So it definitely gave me a sense of confidence and also a sense of pride that I could use my health department to provide a health service for me. And I encourage others to do that as well.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And we are going to transition over to Mr. Michael Wayne Craig of Sick Kids, of the Sick Kids Foundation. Mr. Craig, thank you for your patience and your time today. Can you tell us what is the organization's mission?
I believe with Dr. Mobley, I'm in very good company. And I'm not going to try to follow because she's ahead of the game. But our mission is very purpose specific, and it's to provide funds for every sick child when insurance and other financial resources have been exhausted or there's none available. We're here to help.
That's awesome, because there's so many people that don't get the surgeries they need, and children especially. Your heart just goes out to the children when they're in need of these surgeries, and it's
Absolutely.
so expensive. So what has your organization accomplished to date as it relates to helping sick kids in these situations?
We started this foundation in 2017, August of 2017 to be specific, and we've helped and continue to help on average about 12 kids per year. And it ranges from simple drug replacement or prescription filling to major surgery where a portion of that surgery procedure is not covered by insurance, and we jump in to get that done. These children live in communities and counties from Cobb, DeKalb, Fulton, Clayton, etc. We work all across the state of Georgia. All of our kids are faced with several medical challenges, such as whether it's cancer, neurological disorder, heart disease, or vocal issues, medically impaired, IBD-UC, you name it. We work with every families and every sick child that we can help.
That is amazing. Can you share one or two stories of individuals whose lives have been changed because of your organization?
Yeah, baby Santiago came to mind, and this kid had a number of illness, too many to state, but from cardiac issues, the ability to eat and swallow, aortic root dilation, CVA. He had a G-tube dependency where during the daytime he had a special a tube and equipment to breathe, and at night he needs he transferred from that equipment to a nightly device. So he's basically living in support of medical need and equipment need. Now, he spent quite a lot of time in the hospital. And when we were called, my initial objective was to fund him, but I realized that this kid needs to be a kid again, to be out. So the strategy was, what can we do to allow him to leave that hospital room to be at home where he can integrate with his peers, other kids, family member, and so forth. He lived with his mom, which is a single mom, and which was a big financial burden for her. So we come together and buy the medical equipment that would allow him to sleep at night, be mobile, and also active throughout the day. This costs us about $10,000 annually, but it was a pleasure for us to get it done. Right now he's at home. He goes back to Choa periodically for care, but he's home, happy, be able to move and to get out of the four walls of his hospital room to see, to be out and about and play and so forth. So we're very, that was a good, what can I say? It makes my heart feel light to know that we could do that. So that's a good story for us.
Wow, that was an awesome story, and just the fact that you were able to get him back integrated with his peers, because that means so much to a young child to be able to
Yes.
play and talk to their friends and especially their family.
Yes.
So what is the organization's website, and can donors donate to support the organization's mission?
Absolutely. Our website is cedrickids.org. As you can see just below my picture there or video, cedricskids.org. So go to cedricskids.org. Immediately on our homepage, you will see a donate link. And we take donation from minimum $25 to as much as you can spare. There's no rule as to what you can give or how you can give. You can give one time, monthly, quarterly, or annually.
Can donors see the difference their donations are making in the kids helped by the organization?
Yes, we have a platform behind our website driven by Network for Good. Donors can log in and see where their money are going. They can even dictate as to which child or family they want to donate to based on information on our website. And once you become a donor, you get our monthly newsletter. And that monthly newsletter includes a list of child that we're supporting, a list of child that we are getting ready to support in the form of, let us introduce you to Dominic. And here's Dominic's situation. Here's Dominic's family situation. And this is what we're going to do for Dominic. And you can say, I want to support Dominic. If Dominic's cost is $5,000 for the year, I got it. Or here's $25 towards Dominic.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
that's
That's really
awesome.
awesome.
Isn't it, Bella? Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Vala's back. That is totally awesome, Michael. And I'm just a comment from Essence out of Baltimore. It's just saying that's amazing. Must have been a rewarding experience for you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they say men don't cry, but every time I reach out to a family, you know, it's right here. It's just right here. It's just ready to come. But yeah, it's really heartwarming. It's really touching, and you can see the difference it makes in families to be able to transport their child from Macon, Georgia to Choa without worrying about that cost. Or do I have to go to work today or stay at the hospital because I need fund? Once we step in, we alleviate that problems. And we wish we could do more, but we're working to do so.
And what's the organization's goal this year?
This year, our fiscal year ends January 22. We're in 2021, I think, right? Right. So we're open to do a lot more. We're open to raise 100,000 this year, simply because we have applications that we cannot fill. We have requests that we cannot fill. And like I said, a request can range from just simple prescription refill, a wheelchair, or a surgical procedure, or a transportation to a hospital out of state. So it varies from $200 to $17,000. So we're looking to raise about 100,000 this year to see if we can clear our backlog of applications. And
And so,
secondly, Secondly, we are now getting ready to put a board in place, and we have we're going through the process now of interviewing board members, and we're looking for about 8 board members. We've secured 2 so far, and I have interviews scheduled all this week and next week to get those board members on to help us drive our mission and fulfill our cause.
That's awesome. So, when you were speaking about the donations and people being donors, I also thought about partners. Do you have partners? Because you mentioned wheelchairs sometimes being needed, and I have talked to a nonprofit before who provides free wheelchairs to people that need them
Really?
who cannot afford them. So, do you currently have partners that you work with to try to
Mm,
supplement needs
The
of
short
the?
no. We don't have any medical device partners. Most of those devices we fund. We try to get at a reduced rate, a very reasonable rate, versus the rate that you will get uninsured versus insured. We're able to successfully negotiate those prices. But no, the short answer is no.
All right. Well, I'll work on that with you beyond this radio show. So,
Absolutely.
And
what?
Michael, I'm going to put my 2 cents in as vice chair. I mean, I'm part of several organizations and nonprofits. I'm going to absolutely, Bella says and Bella does, connect you as well with some healthcare opportunities, some healthcare disparity workshops that we do to get you out there. And as vice chair said, we're definitely going to have you back.
So,
Yeah.
in addition to donation, one of the things that we need is to get our name out. Because the more people that are aware of us, I believe the donation will also follow. But it's important that people know that, hey, I can pick up the phone and call Cedrics Kids Foundation and say, you know what, I have some bills for medical purposes, but I have a number of out-of-pocket expenses. I'm getting calls, cover these costs. Can you help? And we will gladly jump in and help.
We have another question for you, Michael, and it reads, since the pandemic, have you seen an increase for assistance or has it remained the same?
Definitely an increase, and it's sad because donation went down, an increase, of application went up. So yes, absolutely.
Wow.
And what would happen if your organization was not able to accomplish its goals?
You know, if not immediately, I believe somehow over time we will achieve these goals. Radio programs such as this will help to get the word out. And again, the more people are aware of us, will help us with our mission, will help us with funding, and we'll eventually get there. So we have a short-term goal, but there's also a long-term goal. And so over time, I think we'll accomplish the funds that we need, getting our board members on, and putting those board members to work to go out and campaign for us, to be brand master, to be charity masters, to develop relationship. And we're looking for board members who across a number of industry, healthcare, academic, corporate, research, life science, retail, you name it, because we need people to tap into their network, tap into their sources, and allow their network understand what we do and how we can help. No parent, mother or father, single or together, should sit at home and try to make a decision whether to go to work or sit with their child in a hospital. If we can help to reduce that gap, that would be a pleasure. We'd love to do that.
Wow. So, do you have any idea how much money you need to accomplish this year's goals? Is there a total amount that you're trying to reach?
Yes, again, 100,000 between now and January 2022.
You're serious? Is only 100,000?
That's it?
That's the minimum. We're not going to turn back any funds. So if you're saying to me that we can get to 500, that would be great. But it's all based on the application that we have. So that number is budgeted based on the application that we received. We had ready application that we still haven't filled since last year, and all the apps that came in for fun this year. So I want to clear that backlog. But if you have an avenue or a way that we can double, triple that number, I am on board.
Well, I just want to say that as far as county government is concerned, we only award grant funding. So to any nonprofit organization that is doing services and programs to the community, we have grant opportunities. And unfortunately, though, I found out that we used to have grant funding for health services and programs, but that somehow got it fell to the wayside. But I am bringing forth a resolution that I'm creating with the help of my Director of Legislative and Community Affairs, Anita Harris. We are working diligently to resurrect a health and wellness grant that will be bigger and better than the one that we had in the past. So everybody look out for that. I'm going to try to get it on the Wednesday, July 14th Board of Commissioners agenda. Our meeting is July 14th, which is a Wednesday, and it starts at 10. Anyone interested in attending that meeting, please do. I always recommend to our residents that you need to come and speak during the public comment for 2 minutes, and tell us what you need for your family, for your community. And because we need to hear from you, because we are working with your taxpayers' dollars. That's how we do all these free services and programs back to the community. So, Mr. Craig, I would say that if you are contemplating whether or not to become or to have a nonprofit arm, please do, because it will open you up to a lot more funding. I was going to say a little bit later about the American Rescue Plan Act funding. The county is getting $206.3 million from the federal government through the American Rescue Plan Act. And a lot of that is going to go toward health and human services. So, we're going to be not only putting that money towards our programs and services, but we're also going to be giving money to nonprofit organizations and small businesses. So this may be an opportunity as well for those organizations that are nonprofit or for-profit.
Yes. And we are aware of that funding, and in preparation, we're planning to see if we can be a part of that. One important thing that I'd like everyone to know is that since we've started, no one had drew salary from our organization, including myself. Every fund that comes in goes out to help a sick child or to help with our basic operations. So that's very, very important. Having health insurance can protect families from financial devastation when a child experiences severe or chronic illness. However, when insurance and financial resources get exhausted because of several or ongoing chronic diseases, our organization is here. We're available to provide the necessary funding for children to get well and feel comfortable through difficult times. So I invite everyone to join us in this fight. It's very ambitious, but you may not see this because you may have full coverage health insurance for yourself and your families. But there are other families who have the same coverage. But if you have a child that suffered a chronic illness, like our very first child that we supported in 2017, Daryl, who had DLPG, a very rare form of brain cancer, who eventually passed away, his family were fully insured. But yet, at the end of it, they had expenses that they could not cover. And that's the child that actually kicked off our foundation. And so we know what it means to fall in this situation. So please join us. Go to our website, cedricskids.org. If you cannot donate today, still register and become part of our community so you can be involved. We're on all social platforms. Join us and be a part of us and help us to grow this organization to help our neighbors.
Great, thank you. Now, Michael, I'm going to read a comment. I'm going to give this to everyone. It's from Tony Harrison that says, "Hey, Vice Chair Hall, 85% Black men and women and children are homeless. 85%.
Wow.
Atlanta,
Wow.
Georgia, Fulton County, and DeKalb County." I mean, I just want someone to speak to that. It's a comment. It's a very accurate comment. I was looking at my stats this morning, and so I know we can't solve the world tonight, but can someone comment on this comment that was made by Tony? Thank you, Tony, very much for putting that out there.
Well, I can jump in on that from the Fulton County government side because a lot of people don't know that Fulton County actually has an Office of Homelessness, and we partner with many organizations and nonprofits that do work in that area. We do receive federal grant funding from for these services, so it creates a bit of an issue with us providing services and programs inside of the city of Atlanta. And that is because the federal government also provides federal funding to the city of Atlanta, and you cannot double dip,
Right.
meaning that you can't use both government entities to provide the same services using the same dollars that they're both receiving from the same federal government. So, that's what's unique about my district is that because I'm inside the city of Atlanta, there are some things that cross over into City Hall where the mayor and the city council are. But I am big on allocating general fund dollars from Fulton County government so that we can also provide some services inside the city of Atlanta because those dollars are not federal funding and they are specifically from the Fulton County tax dollars. It allows us to extend our services as well because no one government can do it all. We have to collaborate, we have to work together, and we have to pool our money together to help our people. So I'm looking forward to doing whatever's necessary, not only to help Dr. Mobley, but to help sick kids and any other organization, whether for profit or not for profit, in any of these areas. So please, anyone out there, just know you can always contact me. You can probably see some of my social media right behind me. You can, follow me on Instagram, and you can friend me on Facebook. I not only have this, I have my personal, which is Natalie W. Hall. That's NATALIEWHALL. And Dr. Mobley, is there anything else you would like to add?
Just as a final comment, we also recognize that the homeless population definitely has a need for health services. I know we do have or have had a homeless outreach, particularly for the vaccine, for vaccine distribution, because again, we want all of our residents to be healthy and well. And so as we continue to move forward and look at how our services can be provided for all citizens, that's definitely an opportunity for our homeless population as well.
Yeah.
Yes, and I want to recognize Mercy Care because they are a nonprofit that when I tell you I can send an email to any of their staff about anyone that's experiencing homelessness, and they will literally send someone under a bridge anywhere where that person is located. They will go to that person and help them. And so I want to recognize them as one of the main nonprofits that really do help out here.
Absolutely. I'm going to have Michael before we're going to have Vice Chair Hall close out, but I wanted to just put a couple of comments in. Do you have any comments, Michael, just as that staggering percentage that was out there? People are just doing comments.
Absolutely. We don't help in that sense, but we have helped in a number of ways where families were getting released from their home with a sick child. And in order for that sick child to stay home, we help to cover a month or two of rent so they can be stable and sustainable. So I do see and recognize that issue. And though we're not in that space, so to speak, if one of our children that we support, family, have that issue, then we'll help to bridge a gap.
Well, as we have these final closing moments, Dr. Mobley, please, if you want to just reiterate who you are, where you are, and how the community can get in touch with you, and you as well, Michael, and then we're going to have Vice Chair Hall do some stats and close out for us tonight.
Absolutely. The Fulton County Board of Health provides quality, comprehensive health care for the entire family, for our children, our teens, as well as our adults. Visit our website at fultoncountyga.gov for the Board of Health to see the services that we provide. You can also reach us by phone, 404-613-1205. We have a commitment to Fulton County, to our residents north, south, and those places in between. We want to ensure that we are addressing health disparities and that we are identifying opportunities to serve our citizens. Our centers are available, they are affordable, and we offer quality care for all residents. And so encourage you that if you know someone who is in need of health services, that they can reach out to the Board of Health and know that they will be in great hands. And so grateful for the opportunity to share what we're able to provide.
Thank you. Michael?
Absolutely. So Cedrics Kids Foundation helps any sick child, irrespective of illness, disease, or location, zip code, you name it. Even if you're getting funded from another organization and there's a gap, we will fill that gap. We have filled the application where ourselves and another famous fast food foundation is on board. And we're able to help that family. So join us, support us, spread the word. We're on social media at Cedrics Kids Foundation. You cannot miss us.
Thank you so much. And the last voice you're going to hear, community, is going to be that of Vice Chair Hall. She has some information to share with you. Bella Biz Unplugged, I thank you so very much. Take it away, Vice Chair Hall. Close us out.
Thank you, beautiful Bella. I just want to let everyone know that this is the time for your property assessments. A lot of people just call it your property tax bill. Fulton County's Board of Assessors has mailed the 2021 assessment notices to property owners. Property owners can also access the notice regarding their properties at www.fultonassessor.org. These property assessment notices are not tax bills, and under Georgia law, notices are issued annually and reflect the property values as of January 1st, 2021. And let me tell you, some people have already started receiving those assessment notices, and the property values are going up very high in Atlanta. Very, very high. In a lot of cases, doubling. So please pay attention to that. And then property owners who do not believe the current year value on their notice reflects their property's fair market value as of January 1st, 2021, have 45 days from the date printed on the notice to file an appeal. And let me tell you, appeal, appeal, appeal. Don't, if you feel like you want to appeal but you're not sure, appeal. Do it anyway. Appeals can be filed online, in person, or by mail. The 2021 appeals deadline for this is August 5th, 2021. So you have until August 5th, 2021 to file that appeal, and don't wait. And I always recommend that you take pictures, because what's happening is we know that there are a lot of people moving here. This has become the movie industry of the South, the music industry of the South, and there are a lot of people moving here into the neighborhoods. They're building mini mansions next to legacy homes of families that have been in the neighborhoods for decades. generation to after generation. And those legacy homes have not changed much at all. But the mini mansion next door that a newcomer is building is creating an increase in the property value that impacts that legacy residence. And I want to see our seniors and our legacy residents stay in their homes. So please, if you get your tax assessment, your property tax assessment, and it's high, and you know you haven't made any significant changes to your property, then take pictures, attach those pictures to your appeal showing that you've made no changes, and let them know you know that there's a new house that was built, or a house that was renovated and made 3 times the size as its original footprint, and let them know what is impacting you. It really helps. So homeowners will also see homestead exemptions, and this helps a lot. Homestead exemptions reflected on your notice of assessment. Depending on where the property is located, property owners will see exemptions for Fulton County, the Fulton County and Atlanta school system, and the cities for which Fulton County issues tax bills. Residents who do not have homestead exemptions in place may apply online for those exemptions that will take effect in 2022. All offices of the Fulton County Board of Assessors are open for business. We have reopened, even, this is our reopening plan post COVID. Residents can call the office or request an appointment to discuss questions in person. For more information, just call 404-612-6440, or you can visit fultonassessor.org. And just to let everybody know, because I've had a lot of residents ask about the libraries and the senior centers and so much more, we have opened, and the courts. We have open, the courts are open, the district attorney's office is open, the public defender, the solicitor general, the marshal. We have a very small police department because most of Fulton County, it has been municipalized. So the city of South Fulton and the city of Atlanta have now been allowed to take over more of Fulton Industrial Boulevard. So that was the small piece of unincorporated Fulton County that we had left over. Now it has shrunk from 7 miles to 1. And so our Fulton County Police Department only serves that 1 mile corridor of unincorporated Fulton County. The municipalities provide the other services. And don't forget our new sheriff, Patrick Labatt. He's outstanding, and he is committed to community. I see you clapping, Bella. You know he's great. He is trying to supplement the need for law enforcement in the city of Atlanta. I spoke with him before he was even inaugurated, and he made a commitment because I told him, I know my district is in the city of Atlanta, but city of Atlanta is short in the police department by 400 officers. So we need him to put his sheriffs in place to provide extra services to enhance their ability to provide law enforcement in the city of Atlanta. And he has committed and started doing that New Year's Eve.
I love it. A shameless plug, Vice Chair. He's coming on the show. He doesn't know it yet, but I'm reaching out to him tomorrow.
Good. If you need help with that, that's my friend. I've known him 20 years now. Well, over 20 years. I'm dating myself. And so everyone just know that, as you know from Dr. Mobley being on the show today, Board of Health is open. Even our 911, our elections, registrations and elections department, we open all of our libraries. You can now go in the library, but you can still do the service where you can pick up from your car. For those people, because there's still people who are not really coming out. And so we still do have all the online services, all of the pickup services. Our HIV elimination office has reopened, community development and housing, the child attorney's office, juvenile court, behavioral health and developmental disability. Our senior centers, we are hoping that we have the senior centers and the art centers fully open by July 12th. So look for that. Right now, we're phasing in, bringing more of the staff back for senior services and the art staff back, and they're preparing to open and be fully open by July 12th. So we are here to serve the community the best that we can. If you need additional information, you can always contact my office by calling 404-612-8226, or you can email me at natalie.hall@fultoncountyga.gov. And lastly, I did mention earlier about the fact that we provide grant funding to nonprofit organizations. I wanted to just briefly tell you a little bit about that. It's called the Community Service Program Grants. It is a grant that's offered to nonprofit organizations who do anything within one thing out of 5 categories. If you do anything for children and youth, or disabilities, or economic stability/poverty, or homelessness, or senior services, we award up to $100,000 per nonprofit. You can apply for this. It's generally open in the fall around October. And so if you need information about that or need to get connected to that, you can also contact my office. And we have what's called Contract for Services, which is our grant funding for the arts. So any nonprofit organization, individual artist, or any faith-based organization that does anything in the arts and culture space, you can apply for grant funding through the Contract for Services program, and we award up to $50,000. And lastly, American Rescue Plan, which I mentioned earlier, federal government sending us millions, hundreds of millions, 206.3 million to Fulton County government alone. And the cities inside of Fulton County are receiving their own American Rescue Plan Act funding this time, because if you recall, last year when we received CARES Act funding, it was only sent to the state and then into the counties, and the counties were responsible for allocating some of that CARES Act funding out to the municipalities. But this time, the federal government is making sure that every government entity gets their own resources directly to them. Now, they don't get as much as they need, so we are looking at enhancing that and partnering. We have a meeting this Wednesday, tomorrow, with our mayors. It is a public meeting. If you want to know more about that, please contact me or go to fultoncountyga.gov. The mayor's meeting, we will be speaking on all of these issues, as well as transportation. I think a lot of people forgot about the T-Splots money, the transportation dollars from the federal government. We are looking at spending that money on various projects, rapid transit lanes on the highways, new rail, and so many other things. So please start joining us at those mayors meetings as well. We have all the mayors from every city inside Fulton County, with all the commissioners coming together and really trying to plan for our residents' success and to have the best lifestyle and quality of life that they can have. Thank you, Bella.
Thank